On April 7, 2025, the Professional Tennis Players Association (PTPA) took to X to highlight a trio of developments that underscore a growing movement for reform in professional tennis. The tweet, posted at 10:35 EDT, succinctly captures the momentum. A player's letter to the Grand Slams demanding a fairer share of revenues, the sudden resignation of ATP CEO Massimo Calvelli, and a significant prize money increase at the Charleston Open. Pressure is a powerful thing, the PTPA declared. Systemic reform is needed and it's coming. We're proud to support players in leading the way. The first point in the PTPA's tweet references a letter co-signed by top ATP and WTA players, reportedly including nearly all of the top 20 ranked stars, sent to the organizers of the four Grand Slam tournaments: the Australian Open, French Open, Wimbledon, and the US Open. This letter, which emerged in late March and was first reported by French outlet L'Equipe, demands a substantial increase in prize money, arguing that players deserve a larger slice of the revenue pie generated by these prestigious events. The Grand Slams, which collectively distributed $254 million in prize money in 2024, a nearly 10% increase from 2023, are undeniably lucrative. For context, the U.S. Open alone reportedly generated over $500 million in revenue last year from ticket sales, sponsorships, and broadcasting, yet its total player compensation, including prize money and expense payouts, was $75 million. Players like Novak Djokovic, Jannik Sinner, Aryna Sabalenka, and Coco Gauff are said to have endorsed the letter, which also seeks greater player input in governance and improved welfare programs. This unified push signals a rare collective stand among tennis's elite, amplifying their call for a revenue split more reflective of their role as the sport's primary draw. Adding fuel to the reform narrative, the PTPA highlighted the resignation of ATP CEO Massimo Calvelli, a move that has sent ripples through the tennis world. Calvelli, who has led the ATP since January 2020, announced his departure effective June 30, 2025, just weeks after the PTPA filed lawsuits against the ATP, WTA, International Tennis Federation (F), and International Tennis and Integrity Agency. These lawsuits, launched in mid-March, accuse the governing bodies of anti-competitive practices and systemic abuse, alleging they hoard revenues and stifle player welfare. The timing of Calvelli's exit, amid legal challenges and mounting player pressure, has sparked speculation about its implications. Reports indicate he will transition to a role at Redbird Capital Partners, though the PTPA's tweet frames his resignation as evidence of their advocacy shaking the establishment. With over 200 players reportedly backing the PTPA's efforts, the organization's influence appears to be growing, and Calvelli's departure adds a high-profile twist to the unfolding drama. The third prong of the PTPA's tweet celebrates a concrete win: the Charleston Open's decision to double its prize money starting in 2026. This WTA 500 event, set to increase its purse from $1 million to over $2 million, will align its payouts with those of ATP 500 tournaments, making it the first standalone WTA 500 event to achieve pay parity with its male counterpart ahead of the WTA's 2033 goal. Announced on April 6th, this move not only boosts earnings for players, but also sets a precedent for other tournaments under pressure to address gender and financial inequities. The Charleston Open's decision comes at a pivotal moment, coinciding with the players' broader push for fair compensation. While the PTPA doesn't claim direct credit, their tweet positions this as part of a domino effect, proof that sustained pressure can yield tangible results. The PTPA's assertion that pressure is a powerful thing ties these developments together under a single narrative: the old guard of tennis is cracking under the weight of player demands. The organization, co-founded by Novak Djokovic in 2020, has long argued that the sport's revenue distribution, where players reportedly receive as little as 16% of some Grand Slam earnings compared to 50% in leagues like the NBA, is unjust. Their lawsuits and vocal advocacy have now been joined by the top players' letter, suggesting a multi-front campaign that's gaining traction. Yet the road to systemic reform remains fraught. The Grand Slams not named in the PTPA's lawsuits have historically positioned themselves as not-for-profit entities dedicated to growing the sport, a stance that complicates negotiations. Meanwhile, the ATP and WTA face their own challenges in balancing player interests with operational realities. The Charleston Open's proactive step may inspire others, but broader change will likely require more than isolated victories. The PTPA's tweet is more than a status update, it's a rallying cry. By linking the player's letter, Calvelli's exit, and Charleston's prize money hike, they paint a picture of a sport at a crossroads. We're proud to support players in leading the way, they conclude, signaling their commitment to driving this momentum forward. Whether this pressure will dismantle tennis's entrenched structures or merely force incremental concessions remains to be seen. For now, though, the players and the PTPA are making their voices heard, and the echoes are impossible to ignore. As the tennis world watches, the next moves from the Grand Slams, governing bodies, and players themselves will determine just how far this wave of reform can carry the sport. One thing is clear: change is no longer a whisper, it's a demand. This is Valerie, serving you the latest from the world of tennis, here on Racket Point. Back to you.